What's going on, guys? Nash Herrington with Crave Online. We're here at Sundance 2013 talking about Toys House with Nick Offerman. Nick, you are in the movie. We talked to Aaron and Allison a little bit earlier, but can you explain to us your viewpoint of the movie, what it's all about, and what your part has to do in it?
Well, I play the father of the sort of main kid, played by Nick Robinson, masterfully. And it's about three teenagers who are really just overparented, you know. The parents are kind of benign villains. We're mainly guilty of loving too much or loving in a wrong way, not really communicating. And so we drive our kids to sort of run away from home and build a house in the woods to run away to. And it's through this act of defiance that they have a sort of coming of age and, you know, become a little bit more of men through the process.
Awesome. And you said you play the father. Had you worked with any of these kids before? I know that I've noticed them from other films. This looks like an opportunity where they got to kind of shine a little bit more and not be such in the background.
Yeah, I'd worked with some of the grown-ups before, but the kids were all new to me, and what a fantastic collection of not, you know, 23-year-old movie stars playing 15, but these really real teenagers, Nick Robinson and Gabriel Basso and Moises Aria as Biagio, sort of a scene-stealing little freak. And Erin Moriarty is so wonderful as Kelly. I think we struck gold with these kids.
Awesome. And so with this movie, it's, you know, premiering at Sundance. You know, I know that you've worked on movies that premiere in Hollywood. Tell me what it's like having a movie premiere here where you know that the audience is full of fellow artists and maybe not so much full of a bunch of sponsors that paid to make a movie.
Well, for my money, I come from Chicago theater, and so these indie films feel a lot more collaborative and a lot more like a family project. And so I get a lot more of a sense of pride out of achieving a premiere at Sundance because we've sort of done it on our own. You know, we didn't have a big budget or Jude Law behind us or, you know, some other handsome big name.
We do have Nick Offerman, though.
I mean, we do. That's exactly what I'm driving at, is we merely have Nick Offerman. You know, if Jude Law was in my role, it would probably already be a blockbuster, you know. But premiering here is just a really great fairy tale ending to something we just shot 6 months ago. So it's a wonderful surprise, and it's a testament to the director's work, Jordan Vogt Roberts. He really put this thing together on a shoestring budget, on a really fast schedule, and turned out incredibly beautiful.
Awesome. Well, and the last thing I want to ask you is, you obviously you're promoting this film, Toys House, but you're also a very big part of Parks and Recreation, which from its infancy in the first season has just exploded. It's become such a big, popular show on NBC. Tell me what it's like for those people who maybe aren't as familiar with the film and television industry, the difference between working for 6 months on a film and having it hit screens and working on such a regular basis on a show year after year.
Well, gosh, working on an independent film is much more like doing a little piece of theater where you have a set amount of time, in this case less than a month, to tell one entire story for about 2 hours. And so you really hone in on it and try to get each moment perfect so that your whole story is very effective. And on a TV show like Parks and Rec, it's an ongoing sort of serialization where you continue to unfold these people's lives and the life of this community, and it's just a much bigger operation. You know, this has Toys House has one genius writer named Chris Galletta. Parks and Rec, we have 12 genius writers and just a crew of 120 people, all hilarious geniuses collaborating, because we have to churn out an episode a week, and it's just a much bigger operation. Both are incredibly satisfying in their own way. It's really fun to know you're going to be visiting people's living rooms once a week and to see where a character is going to go as you continue to create it over the years. But there's something really satisfying in the sense of closure you get when you just make a film, and there it is. That's one performance. It's buttoned up.
Yeah. Do you have a personal preference for one or the other, or is it just kind of apples and oranges?
It's apples and oranges. If I could only do one thing, I think it would be live theater, because the medicine that you receive from the live audience just can't be beat as a food item. TV is really fun in its way, and so is film. One of the best things about those is what the audience experiences is so much more of a collaboration of a lot of people. Everything that you see, everyone has had input in, plus the editor and the writer and everything. And on stage, you are much more in control. If you have the audience in the palm of your hand, yes, you know, your costume has been designed and the lights and everything, but it's a much more intimate process. My wife and I both feel very lucky that we get to dabble in all of these areas. I think an actor's dream is to work in TV and film successfully so you can afford to then do theater and not get paid very much.
And the last thing I want to ask you, you already brought it up, working with your wife. What's it like, that dynamic of being able to, you know, people do it, Ben Stiller does it, there's a lot of other people who do this. What's that dynamic like?
It's really, we just feel really lucky. We talk about it all the time. You know, we had a movie here last year called Smashed that was really good and very successful. And we actually don't know a lot of couples who get to work together as actors the way we do. And it's really fun. I mean, we really admire each other, and I think we try to inspire each other to do better and better work. And especially when we get to work together like we do on Parks and Recreation, we're then able to achieve sort of depths of nasty humor that we can only arrive at because we have such a trust of each other. It's really fun.
Awesome. Well, Nick, thanks for hanging out with us. Be sure to check out Toys House. It's going to be a great film, and have fun the rest of the time you're here. Go hit the slopes or something.
Thank you, Nash. Appreciate it.